Good afternoon. Your Excellency, the Commissioner, distinguished members of the government, both current and past, respected representatives of the traditional institution, honored guests, and my fellow young Ghanaians. I bring you warm greetings from the Ghana Traditional Council and that of the Atukpai Divisional Council. Mr. Speaker, I want to start by saying something that perhaps not every chief would say from a platform like this. I am one of you, and yes, most of you can testify to that, because I was part of the pioneers. I was part of the pioneers of Whole Technical University Parliament, and I am the first Deputy Speaker of this honorable school. I sat where you sit today, and I asked the same questions you are asking. I bent the same frustration and the same hope and the same anger to see Ghana become everything she is capable of being. The stool I sit on does not change my perspective. If anything, it deepens my responsibility to stand here today and speak honesty with you. 5 years, yes, 5 years. When I heard Honorable Jones Amegashi-Viglo speaking about this very parliament, and Honorable, my then Speaker of Parliament for the Whole Technical University, David Amanona, and that of Honorable Edem came together, and today, here we are, celebrating the 5th anniversary of the Youth Impact Parliament. 5 years of choosing to become part of this house to debate over issues that are affecting our nation and not to be silenced about it. Service over apathy and vision over despair. That deserves more applause, which I know you are supposed to do now. You're supposed to applaud yourselves for the efforts you have put in bringing this parliament to where it is now. It deserves continuation. Happy 5th anniversary to the Youth Impact Parliament of Ghana. On the state of our nation, which I would like to speak about it small, let's be honest to ourselves. I'm not a kind of chief who will stand before you and paint a rosary picture while the house is on fire. You are too smart for that. And Ghana deserves better than a comfortable lies. Mr. Speaker, our economy is hurting. The city has taken blows that have landed hardest on the ordinary Ghanaians. Inflation has eaten into the earnings of our parents, our market women, and the drivers, and the normal Ghanaian. The debt burden we carry as a nation is one our generation will inherit. And that is something every young Ghanaian should understand and demand answers about. We must hold our leaders, all of them, regardless the party or regardless the colors that they bear, to account for how our nation's purse is being used and what is being used for. Mr. Speaker, unemployment among the youth remains one of the most painful open wounds in our country. I know young men and women, brilliant ones, who have graduated and spent years job hunting with nothing to show. That is not a personal failure. It is a systematic failure. And we must name it as such, while also asking what we can do to change it. Galamsey is destroying us slowly. The rivers that nourished our grandfathers' farms, like some of the young entrepreneurs here were saying they are farmers, are dying. The forests that should be our children's legacy are being swallowed by greed. And the sad truth is, it is not people that are not of our own, but they are our neighbors, sometimes our relatives. And this has become the reason we are not speaking against it. We cannot blame foreigners. We must look inward and have the courage to say, this must stop, even when it is uncomfortable. Our health system needs urgent investment. The inequalities between North and South, between the urban and the rural, between those born in privilege and those who were not, remain stark and troubling. These are conversations that must happen in the parliament, yes, but also in our communities, in our homes, on the social media pages that we all have. And then there is a matter that has gripped our national conversation, which you and I know is the current issues on our social media platforms. One that I, as a chief and a representative of the cultural values of Ghana, and one who loves this nation, must address with both boldness and clarity. Mr. Speaker, the LGBTQ+ agenda. Let me speak to this directly because my generation is the primary target of this agenda, and I will not be silenced about it. There is a well-founded, well-organized push which is originating from outside our boundaries to normalize LGBTQ practice in Ghana and across Africa. It comes packaged in the appealing language of freedom, rights, and progress. It arrives through social media, through foreign-founded NGOs, through scholarship programs and cultural exchange programs that ties acceptance of these values to opportunities. I have seen it. Many of you have also seen it too. So we shouldn't be silenced about this. And I want to say to every young Ghanaian today, you are not a backward for rejecting the LGBTQ+. You are not ignorant. You are not hateful. You are a people of who they are. Mr. Speaker, Ghana's identity across all ethnic groups, across Christianity, Muslim communities, across our traditional beliefs, it is built on a clear understanding of family, of human sexuality, and of a community value. These are not colonial imports. These are ours. And we have the sovereign right to defend our own moral landscape as a people. Our parliament passed the Human Sexual Rights and Family Value Acts, a reflection of the overwhelming will of Ghanaians. I stand by that. Not out of hatred for any individual, but because our culture also teaches us as Africans, as Ghanaians, that every human being carries dignity. But out of love for Ghana and a refusal to allow our cultural identity to be dismantled piece by piece under external pressure, to my fellow young people, I say, engage in conversations with intelligence. When you encounter these arguments online, in your lecture halls, in your workplaces, and even on social media, do not shout. Do not result in violence. Do not demean, but think and stand firm. Know why you believe what you believe. Know why you are a Ghanaian and an African. The most dangerous thing is not the person who openly disagrees with you. It is the young Ghanaian who has not been taught the values of their own heritage and therefore cannot defend or define it. We can be a modern, forward-thinking, globally competitive country as Ghana and not to hold or not to hold on anything that would destroy our identity. We are who we are. We are Ghanaians and we are Africans by blood and by identity. The two are not in conflict. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Mr. Speaker, now let me talk about what we must do, because complaining without action is just making noise. Number one, let's get ourselves into governance. Young and beautiful ladies and gentlemen seated here today. I see ministers, MPs, government machineries, and presidents among us. For us to achieve what you are saying here about, let's stop leaving the arena to people who do not represent our interest as Ghanaians. Register to vote, run for district assembly seats, join political parties, and push them to do better from the inside. Politics in Ghana will not reform itself. It needs you in the room where decisions are being made. Number two, we should build something as young people. Ghana cannot civil serve its way to prosperity. We need entrepreneurs, bold, creative, resilient ones. The technology space, agribusiness, creative industries, and manufacturing industries. These are wide open. Stop waiting for someone to create a job for you. Create jobs for others. The support systems are not perfect, but they exist. They will grow as more of you demand a better Ghana. Number three, let's protect the environment like our lives depends on it, because it does. Get involved in anti-galamsey advocacy. Plant trees. Support community water protection initiatives. Talk about the climate change not as a Western concept, but as Ghanaians surviving issues, because it is. Number four, be united. I am a Ghanaian before any other party, because when you go outside, you can't say, I am an NDCian or an MPPian. But when they ask you who you are, you will say, I am a Ghanaian. So that comes first, before any other party or any other flags. And I need to feel, or we need to feel the same way. Tribal politics, regional stereotypes, partisan hatred. These are the chains keeping us from running as a people. This parliament is a beautiful example of what it looks like when young Ghanaians across all backgrounds sit together and work together. When the names were being mentioned, I didn't see the representative of my constituency, the Kwabenya constituency. Like I would have told the person to go home and tell the MP that she should be fast and doing. Bottle the spirit and take it everywhere you go. Number 4, pursue excellence. Be the best of whatever you are doing today. Our generation must make mediocrity embarrassing. Whether you are a graphic designer, a doctor, a footballer, a farmer, or a filmmaker, set a standard. Do not follow the trend and say, this is how it has been done, so I'll do it same. You must set a standard so that you will be identified as a different person. Ghana's reputation in the world is built on one excellent Ghanaian at a time. When you pick it up to yourself that today, I am going to make a change, and I join you, and all individuals in this room join that very trend, I believe our nation will be a better place to live. To this parliament, this is my charge to you. You know that the third anniversary, I charged you. And I've realized that most of the things I said, by God's grace, we are progressing. So we are going to finish well. I want to speak directly to everyone who is part of this institution. The founders, which I've mentioned their names already. The leadership and the members, both past and present. Mr. Speaker, we have to build something which is very real. And today, that is what we are pushing as the YIP is in place. But let me challenge you the way I will challenge myself. Impact must be measurable. What policies have you influenced in this very particular chamber, in your homes and the constituencies that you represent? What communities have you touched as an individual or as a Ghanaian? What young people have you brought in who will never find a political voice otherwise? Push yourself to answer these questions honestly every year, and let the answers drive you to do more for Mother Ghana. This parliament should not just be training leaders for tomorrow, as we are all saying. It should be producing leaders who are acting today, and not today to cheat Ghana or to cheat our nation and our continent, Africa. But today, people that are going to make sure that our continent and our nation becomes a better one. Mr. Speaker, my final words. I will close the way I started, as one of you. I know what it feels like to look at Ghana and feel a mixture of love and frustration so strong that it almost breaks you. I know what it means to want better for this country and wonder if it is even possible. But I also know this: every great era in Ghana's history, in African's history, in the black man's history, was driven by young people to refuse to accept that things could not change. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah stood with a group of people and declared independence for our nation. And I know by then there were old people that were telling him, you cannot do it, which you and I can bear witness to. J.J. Rawlings was also young, but stood to defend our nation and bring us on track. We have Martin King Jr., who also stood to fight for black people. The men and women who built our institution, our schools, our roads, many of them were young and impatient and burning for purpose. Mr. Speaker, now it is our turn. We may not be listed among the famous yet. Our names may not be Our names may not be heard on the table of greatness yet. We may not be walking at the hall of fame, but we are a great team of change, of positive movement, and we shall get there. Mother Ghana one day will see us and smile. We are going to protect Ghana's economy. We are going to protect the rivers and the forests of our nation. And we are going to protect the democracy of this nation. We are going to protect the values that makes us Ghanaians and Africans. Mr. Speaker, the Ghana we dream of is not waiting to be discovered. It is waiting to be built by people in this room. So I charge you today that Ghana is waiting upon your arrival as great leaders with vision to change the future of our nation, vision to change the narrative, and innovations to make our continent, Africa, a better place to live. God bless our homeland, Ghana. God bless the Youth Impact Parliament. God bless the youth of our nation. Chanu Manyaba.